What's everybody? It's the Titan PDL podcast here for the Hoenn draft review. Getting back on the train after a little bit of a hiatus. We're here with Chris and Firemana. How you guys doing?
Big chillin', buddy.
Doing pretty okay.
And yeah, we'll just get right into it.
I guess we
Oh.
already did that. I should probably should have skipped forward. That would have been smart. You know what? Let's just get right into the nitty gritty.
McFeeds Mareeps, the corrupt commissioner, with once again giving himself the first round pick, picking the Gudra. Um, I mean, it's just another McFeeds glazing session. It's as it always is every season. Um, let's focus on the negatives. How about that? What do you guys have to say negatively about this draft?
Um, there really, I mean, there isn't really a lot of negatives, but I guess there's just a lot of types that you can hit him for neutral damage without it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the biggest negative here is that the type chart's looking a little barren. Um,
Is that a
there's a
league
lot of
reference?
strong offensive types that you just get hit for neutral for on most of your team.
Yeah, like ice is a big one. Ground is a
Ground,
huge. Ground is
poison,
huge. We have poison.
yeah,
Rock, not really, but
fighting's
dark.
pretty big.
Dark Dragon. Fairy's not really that bad because there's not really like a lot of good fairy types, right? So
Yeah, I'd say the big one for this team is definitely ice, because this team's trying to play like balance, right? Just like bulky balance with its Gudra, for alligated Skarmory, its Tangrowth, but um, in terms of like two of its bulkiest members, both being weak to ice and Tangrowth and Gudra, and then Skarmory, obviously it's neutral, is a bit of a problem. You have Typhlosion to deal with those ice types, so maybe it's not the end of the world.
um, even with Typhlosion being able to deal with ice types, it's like you never really want to swap Typhlosion into something. Whereas like for Alligator, obviously you can do that. Um, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it just feels like this team's gonna crush any hyper offense. Like there's gonna be a switch in for a lot of things. You're gonna just you're gonna need to find a way to deal with Gudra every week coming into this, and it's number one pick on both days for a reason. I think it's just it's something really hard to deal with.
Yeah, he gave himself first pick for it, so that's what it is.
Speed tier is looking good. He's got something for pretty much every speed tier, um,
Mm-hmm.
fast and slow mode. I guess Mess Spirit being your Trick Room setter, it's a little on the more on the faster side, but
I don't think this draft ever wants to sit in Trick Room.
you don't think with like Gudra and Tank? I mean, like it's not like you're getting much done with this team for going first necessarily, especially like in Trick Room. It's like
Yeah,
you're probably still not one-shotting much on the other team, and you're just still taking hits. So I mean, there's not much of a point to set it up.
I
I
just
mean,
think the Pokemon on this team that can take use of Trick Room are not super offensively oriented.
Yeah,
Like Gudra and Mesprit are kind of slow, but they're getting outsped by a lot of things in Trick Room still. A lot
I,
of things that they don't want to be taking free damage from.
I think unless you're running like something like an Iron Ball that lowers your speed on any of your like something like Gudra or even for Alligator. But obviously for Alligator you want to set up, so I don't know. Um if you're playing against this team, there's only one real mode and it's probably just Tailwind, right? So
yeah,
Yeah,
also
yeah.
um not a fan of the double sap sipper, but you know, it's fine. Subtrek is there to be cute.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever running double sap super. He doesn't really need it. He's got uh Tangrowth already for redirect. He's got Skarmory. It's not doing anything to Gudra anyway. So,
Yeah.
I do think if this draft ever gets screens up,
oh yeah,
probably that's just that's just game.
I think that's kind of the purpose of the Mess Spirit here, is to just
Yeah, I don't.
set screens.
I mean, it has Imprisoned Trick Room, which I think is I think that's the main reason you draft Mesprit is Imprisoned Trick Room.
Yeah,
It's gonna outspeed most like other things that would want to do that.
If I had to guess Terra captains for this team, I'd probably guess like Scraggy and maybe Skarmory,
Has McFeed's not posted Terra
maybe
captains?
Typhlosion.
I think
I
he
don't.
has, right? I
Has
think
he?
it's for alligators, Substrika, and Mareep.
It's Mesprit Zebstrika.
Oh,
Marie.
Mesprit, my bad. Yeah.
Best Spirit.
I mean, I
Interesting.
think
Interesting.
that's okay.
Not really like things I'd be personally looking at the Terra when you have stuff like for alligator, right? Um,
Mono Water's definitely better defensively than Mono Psychic is.
well, yeah, but I think with for alligator, if you get set up and then you Terra to that like defensive type, like something like a steel or even something offensive like Terra ground is fine. Terra grass is good. Like could be nasty with Terra, especially in a lower tier format.
Yeah, if there's one thing about McFeeds, he loves his Terra with like Flash Flyer or like Sap Sipper type abilities,
Oh yeah.
or even Lightning Rod on the Zebstrika. So maybe the idea with Zebstrika is like you can tear it to a type like Water, where you're gonna eat either the electric or grass type moves, and then be a little artificially tanky that way. Just a lot, I guess, a lot of immunities is something to watch out when facing this team too, with all the abilities.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one, shall we?
Yeah, enough glazing.
Equinamius Explodes.
Yeah, newcomer to the league, Eck. Very interesting team. I think I got a little tripped up when I saw him draft the back-to-back Golem and the Garganackle at the end of the draft here. Um, but it seems like the idea coming this was like a little mini Sun mode with Grafai and Charizard. You have Gardevoir, really solid special attacker. Um, Obviously, this is one of the teams that's kind of running lighter on the number of Pokemon in terms of 8 Pokemon. You're trying to draft 8 strong picks, which I'd say they're all very strong picks in their own right, especially for their point values. I just think I struggle to see like it dealing with some certain teams just in terms of like the type chart. I think again the Golem below is really throwing that out. I don't know how you like. I think like it's like one trade away or one pickup away from being a top tier team. But right now for me, it's in the middle of the pack. I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree. I think picking up Gardevoir first is very strong, but you didn't really build around having one of the only viable fairy types in the format. Um, I think Grafai Charizard's a really strong combo to have in the middle, but if you want to play sort of fast with Grafai Charizard, then the rest of the team doesn't really support that.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think the first five I'm kind of happy with. Like looking at it, I don't really get the Golem. Talos whatever, right? Um, could be like, how many points is Talo actually? I didn't put it up there because first screenshot I took, but
I think it was like 3.
three's not bad. Um, I think you probably I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Charizard pick mainly because I just don't think that if you're running a Sun team that Charizard is the best in the format. You like at the previous slide, fucking Typhlosion got taken super late, and I think it was the same point tier, and it gets eruption. It's pretty fast. Um, gives you less resistances or sorry. Is it no? I can't think. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the Charizard. I'm not a fan of the Golem. Garganackle's fine. Scrafty's fine. Grafia. That first three are good.
Taylor was a 1 point mascot pick for Taylor Swift. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I think you hit on the dot there with saying you didn't really draft around the Gardevoir. Not that you need to. It is a very good like be free Pokemon. But it's kind of weird because I feel like you pick Gliscor next, you're like, oh, okay, this is like a balanced Gardevoir offense team, and then you pick like Grafia Charizard, and you're like, this looks like hyper offense Sun. So it's like, yes, he has like two different mini modes. I'm just not so like I think this is still a good team. I'm just not seeing how the pieces connect between those modes yet. You really want to find like a link between them, and I'm just not so sold on it yet. Another thing to note here is 4 quad weaknesses on this team on 4 different Pokemon. Not everything can be Terra. Charizard quad weak to Rock, Scrafty to Fairy, Golem Alola
I wonder if you
to
put in
Ground,
this.
and Gliscor to Ice. So it's like, I don't think you can do Gliscor Charizard Terra Captains if I'm right.
Wonder
Yeah,
if you're-
Charizard's 15, so is Gliscor. So you can only pick one of those, and something else is going to be susceptible to a 4 times effective move.
I'm looking to see if he put in his Terras.
That's the other thing.
I don't
The
think he
point totals
did.
of this team are weird. I think you can only ever have like one Terra captain on this team.
Yeah, it's all expensive.
Yeah, there's nothing.
So
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Ek, I'm probably looking to Terra Captain Gliscor or Charizard, one of the two. But I don't see anything else unless you're like defensive Terraing Garganackle and going for
The
Sulk your chip. But
the
about it.
ground type weakness is like a little fake in terms of like one of those Pokemon is Golem Alola and the 4 times weakness, and then you do have 3 immunities. Um, Obviously one of those being the mascot pick too, but I think the big concern here is ice, right? You have Gliscor with a 4 times ice weakness, and then everything else on your team you have no resist to ice,
I
which
mean,
is even on like it's just a common coverage move to run. It could be a big problem for this team.
that's
yeah,
fair, but there's also
look at the water weakness.
Yeah, three slots left. There is 4 water weaknesses and no resistances. So
Yeah.
I think no grass type hurts this team. I think if you're gonna look to pick something up, you look to pick up a grass type. And that probably kind of fixes the draft a little bit.
The only problem is that adds another ice
Yes,
weakness.
but it does add another ice weakness. You're right, but I think it's. I don't know what you'd add. Genuinely,
I think this team tried to go in too many directions with no clear focus on what it wanted to do, and now it kind of does nothing super well, and it's weak to a lot of things.
I think if you make a couple moves, and patch up your weaknesses, you could probably be fine. But
Yeah, you probably drop like Gliscor Golem and pick up 2 other
I think keeping
kind of
Gliscor is
mid-cost
fine.
Pokemon.
I just think that I don't know. I would probably drop the latter half, like Golem Garganackle, and look for something.
Maybe lean more into Sun or more into Balance here. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah,
Golem
I'd like to
Garganackle
see a water type on this team for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Golem Garganackle kind of don't do anything to help the 2 modes that you already had.
All right, we're gonna move on. Trapinch Fan Club. I think. Was this 11 Pokemon, right? 10? 10. Good amount.
Yeah, I like this team personally. I don't know.
I'm a very big fan of this draft.
I like it. I don't really like Electrode or Toxapex or Storm Joner, but I think the first 4 are pretty good.
I mean, you're running hyper offense with the first half of your draft, like very clearly. You want to set up Tailwind with Noivern every game for a Magmortar. And honestly, Stone Joiner's speed stat is not unworkable in Tailwind. And it hits like a truck. So I really don't think Stone Joiner's that bad.
But once Trick Room
Toxapex, I kind of don't know what it's doing here.
once Trick Room goes up, it's like, what are your answers? To 2 Trick Room. What
There
are your answers?
exactly 0 answers to Trick Room on this team. You have Carbink, who can turn it back off, but that's literally it.
You're gonna run Eviolite, Trapinch, and Trick Room. I think not. Like, I I think the first half is good. I don't like the last half. I think if you find like more balance, maybe add a slower attacker so you can deal with Trick Room. I think you're chilling.
I think you can comfortably drop like Electrode Toxapex and find a Trick Room answer, and then you're really set here.
I mean, one thing to consider is this team does have a lot of like 3 fake out users and a ton of taunt users. It's
Yep.
another way to deal with a trick room. I think it's not I do agree that once Trick Room goes up, it's pretty bad, but I think you have a lot of answers to stop it from going up. You have a lot of fake out, a lot of taunt users. I'm sure there's a couple of Roar or Noivern probably learns Whirlwind to deal with Trick Room on this team. I think he's got a lot of answers to stop it from going up, and I think that's what makes it definitely like a better team for me. I think just some of the like this type chart looks generally pretty good. Just the ground weakness looks a little glaring. You have the Noivern, which is probably coming almost every week, but besides that, you're a little weak to ground. That's which is just a scary type to deal with in general, right? So I think that's one thing that's holding me back just a little bit from this team. But I don't agree with you guys in terms of the fact that I think Trick Room is a little hard to get up against this guy. I think he has plenty of answers.
I think the
It
issue.
definitely can be a challenge. There are just some Pokemon that don't care about
Yeah.
fake out or taunt that can get Trick Room up, and
I,
then
like with that, yeah, I I think just certain items as well. Like, uh, I don't know if anybody drafted Slow King, but something like that could be really problematic for this team.
yeah, Covert Cloak, Slow King, just you have no answer to.
Yeah, I mean, there's Whirlwind, but obviously it's like you're. I think against one of those teams where it's like a hard Trick Room team that has like a Follow Me user plus Trick Room trying to guaranteed get Trick Room up. That could be a real threat
Which I think
for sure.
most Trick Room teams will definitely. If you don't have a Follow Me user, you might be trolling a little bit, but that should be the case. I think. Yeah, I don't know. His
I'm gonna
Terra
play some
captains are
Magmortars.
Magmortar, Trapinch. So what do you guys think about that?
I think Magmortar's a great Terra Captain. Um, I'm assuming Trapinch is the other Terra Captain purely for point reasons,
Yep.
Yeah,
because Magmortar's 17.
Yep.
I don't. There's not a 3-point Pokemon on this. It could have been Magmortar Carbink. I think that would have been better.
yeah. Obviously with a 4 times weakness on Carbink too, and one of your Trick Room reversal Pokemon, um, definitely could have been a better choice. I'd imagine with Trapinch, most of the time you're like Terra Bug first impression
Oh my god.
for the damage, and he is the Trapinch fan club, so I respect the choice there.
Hey, you take the
I,
mascot. You take the mascot, right?
yeah, I think we're a little focused on the negatives of this team. I think overall, I think this is for me an upper half team, and I think it's very good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the first half of this draft. I think it's a very solid hyper offense score.
To be fair, we are we are kind of criticizing teams. It's not like, ooh, you did big good. You know what I mean? Like, can't just throw him a bone or give McFeeds his big ego boost. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. New York Yankees.
I have a lot of
Um,
concerns.
So many.
Like, okay, the type chart looks fucking great. I get that out of the way.
yeah,
It's all green. You have a million immunities. Great looking type chart. Problem is, what does this draft do? You're running Arbolive Weirdier, which really wants to sit in Trick Room, and then all of your offensive Pokemon want to be fast, except for like Camerupt. But like, we relying on Camerupt Eruption, or
I think there's two modes here. Like, obviously you said the Trick Room, but I can see Bombardier setting up Tailwind, or Birdier, sorry. I can see it setting up Tailwind for something like a Hitmonlee or um, Starmie, I guess. I don't think the Tailwind mode is very good, but it's something that you have to consider when you're prepping for this team. This match is also a very respectable special attacker for this format with 105. Um, Also, Magneton's pretty nice. I think Eviolite Magneton is very, very nice for his team. Uh,
yeah. I
I
think
mean,
like I really would have loved to see like a good Sunsetter on this team. Like I know you have Seed Sower on the Arboliva too. The problem for me is like Seed Sower, you want some like really tanky Pokemon sitting in Trick Room. You do have the Word Gear with Intimidate, which is nice, but like Firemana said, a lot of these Pokemon are kind of more offensive, fast types. so it's a little strange for me. I feel like this could have been a really good like slow Sun team. I almost wish it would you had like a Lipard early here to set Sun, help out in the trick like getting the trick room set up with fake out. The Starmie was just a little bit of a weird pick for me here. Maybe even like a Jellison would have been better. Something really slow that can
Oh yeah.
also set up trick room.
I see a lot of interesting ideas in combos here. You have like Seed Sower Arboliva with Unburden Hitmonlee. You have like Camerupt Lava Plume with Toxfun. Um, like there's some interesting things you could do with this team. I just think it's a little all over the place.
Like I think if this team has like a good trick room set up with like a sunny day and you're just sitting there with Harvest on Arbalava, super tanky in the trick room, you're healing like crazy, you have camera up clicking fire moves in the sun. I think it'd be a lot scarier to face.
For sure.
All right, let's move on. Gardevoir Guardians.
Do you want to take us away on this one, Chris?
Not really, but we can try. Um, it's a very very balanced draft. Obviously you have Savali, Lucario, Flygon, which is a pretty very or not pretty a very nice core. You have your Tricker mode with Trevenant, Gigalith, which is very underrated in my opinion. Berserker as well, but I guess wait, you're running it with Lucario or Savali, right?
Yeah, like Steel Savali.
Um, Samurot's pretty alright. I can see why you'd want it. Um, for defensive purposes, having a Fire, Water, Grass core with Rapidash Trevenant, which is fine. I think Venonat is a sleeper pick. I love this Pokemon. I didn't pick it up myself, but I think it's very, very good for its point value.
Yeah, 4 points in Rage Powder and Eviolite, Compound Eye, Sleep Powder. Uh, could do very well in Trick Room with that Sleep Powder. Like it definitely has a good place on this team. Um, the Zoroark gives like another nice addition to the fast mode. I just don't like the options it has in terms of um, baiting out. Like right, you kind of want someone that's gonna eat fighting types really well, eat fighting type moves really well, right? Because you already have Savali, you have Zoroark, you have Gigalith, you have Berserker. Fighting's already really strong into your team. Like I don't think people are really afraid to click close combat and do a lot of those. And if it's Zoroark hiding as one of those, it's also just gonna eat a hit.
I mean,
you
I
know,
do think like like you're probably running Fairy Valley like 5 out of 7 weeks with this draft in regular
true.
season. So that is a solid answer to fighting. Um, but it's definitely still a problem. I mean, a lot of your best Pokemon are still fighting weak. Um, you do have Trevenant and you do have Fairy Valley, which are helpful. But I don't think fighting is as big of a problem with this draft.
I think
Like
Emolga
as
is
it
a really
is.
good add to this team too. For that reason, it's I mean it's not tanky, but it's another fighting resist, and it gives him a very fast tailwind option.
Yep.
So Flygon doesn't have to click it every week.
Also, let's not forget Venonat, Rage Powder. It's a quad resist fighting. So again, big answer for him as well. Besides the Trevenant, right?
Yeah,
True.
I think there's very few fighting types that could do over half to Venonat in one hit, even with its lower HP and defense, like base defense. But like if it's running Eviolite, Rage Powder, it's taking fighting type moves pretty well.
Like one of the only fighting types in this format, I think that could even deal with it is Embor, and not sure how many times he has to face that, but I think that's one of his only issues. Maybe Flamico as well. But you could prep for that, right?
And any of the Iron Fist fighting types that get Fire Punch.
Yeah. Overall, big fan. But you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this draft a lot. It's a little sad you don't get Gardevoir because that would have made this draft insane. But So
Yeah.
Valley's definitely the second best thing for this team.
Sad to see it get sniped from him.
Alrighty, moving on. We have Kirito with his Zoroark Hisui. Billy, you can take it.
Yeah, I mean, we have two Zoroark Kasui enjoyers in this in this podcast, so we're gonna have nothing but nice things to say about that. Zoroark Kasui typing up really well with ghost types, obviously, because you're gonna bait out the ghost type moves into them, and then surprise the Zoroark, you're immune to ghost type moves, so pairs really well with the Typhlosion, and then pairs really well with the Empoleon. Hey, you try to click fighting type move into my Empoleon, surprise, it's Zoroark, I'm immune again. So nice two to grab first there from his team. Scyther, really good value pick. We were talking about it before the podcast started. Just crazy. This thing was 10 points. Really tanky with Eviolite, and the only Eviolite user on his team, which is rare to see in this format. So it can take that Eviolite every week without any regrets. I think the last three of the draft are kind of whatever. Maybe they have their niche uses, but the core to this team is pretty strong. I think it just does struggle to maybe get that sun up efficiently, like in a way that doesn't kind of slow your tempo down.
Yeah, that's the one real weakness that this team has. I think overall it's a very strong core and a very strong team. The only problem is you don't have a dedicated sun setter here. The Pokemon on this team that can set sun really don't want to be clicking Sunny Day. They would much rather have something else do it for them. I think another big problem with this team that might be overlooked is you want to be running in Sun, but most of your team is weak to Fire at the same time.
True.
The only Fire resist on this entire team is Typhlosion. So if you or the opponent has Sun up, which I mean you kind of want for your team, you're also at risk of just everything getting one shot.
Yeah, very true. The Empoleon not being a real fire resist is something I didn't consider on this team. What is? Oh, is that the Toxicroak is slightly weak to the fire because of the dry skin there?
Dry skin. That's
Looking
not
to see
Yeah.
what his Terras are.
Yeah.
His Terras are Scyther, Malamar, and Pidgeot. Very, very nice
I think
choices.
Scyther Terra is good. I think
Yeah.
Giot Terra is maybe okay for getting Tailwind up. Malamar loses like you lose ×4 weakness, so I think those are okay Terra captains.
I think an issue here that you guys didn't touch on is what of these Pokemon can play in Trick Room that isn't named maybe Empoleon?
Yeah, Empoleon.
Like, does Malamar run
Yeah.
in prison? I'm not exactly sure. I could assume it does, but
It's
you don't
good question.
really
Let me see.
I can
have.
check really fast. It sounds like it might.
You don't really. It probably does.
It does not.
Oh, it doesn't.
Oh,
Wow.
damn.
Okay. Yeah. So your only denial for Trick Room is Toxicroak with Fake Out, right? Um, which is not very cool, in my opinion. Um,
I'm also looking at this type chart again, and I think so. Your resistances are crazy, and your weaknesses are also crazy.
yeah. Like,
Everything on this team is weak to fire. Everything on this team is weak to flying. Everything on this team is weak to ice. And then like everything resists grass. Everything resists bug.
I just had to check real quick because I thought of something that might really help this team. Purloin for 7 points is still up in both conferences. I know we talked about Scyther, being happy he's the only Eviolite user, but Purloin could add a lot of value to this team in the sense that it has Fake Out. It could set up Sun very reliably with Prankster Sunny Day. Uh, and it can also use Copycat to help with those Trick Room teams, where to Copycat and reverse the Trick Room at Prankster speed.
Yeah,
Might be a really giga pickup for this team.
I think dropping like Malamar Shiinotic to pick up
what is
Purloin
Purloin to seven
really help
points.
here.
what is Pidgeot doing? Like,
It can set Tailwind. So
yeah,
can
but you already
Nightmare,
have
but like
Scyther. That's the issue.
it's I don't know. It's like a decent like flying type attacker.
Nah,
Could be worse.
I think it's middling. I don't think it's useful. I think you should drop that and maybe Shiinotic for Purloin, like you said.
I
Purloin
know
is
Karita's a big live part enjoyer too, so I don't think it would take much convincing. If he sees this, he might really consider that. I personally think it's a really good change for this team, and it'd do a lot of. It would work wonders.
I think
There are
Purloin
definitely
is a fantastic pickup for this team,
there
like
are
you said.
definitely better low cost mons to pick up here over Pidgeot for sure. Hell, even just dropping Pidgeot for like Bronzor to get Imprison Trick Room, right? For the same point total.
I could see it,
Um,
yeah.
Stuff like that.
I think his draft is good overall. It just needs a tiny bit of adjustments, and you can have yourself an
Oh yeah,
actual great draft.
this is a really good draft if you just fix a couple problems.
I don't know if you guys want to go back, but somebody just updated their character captains.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
which
What was
one?
it?
where is it? Eck made Garganackle and Talo his terror captains, which sure fine. I still don't think it. I don't think it
As
helps
I
this
opposed
don't know
to
if
team.
that changes much. You still have the four
Yeah, it
times
doesn't.
weaknesses.
Yeah. Uh,
yeah,
Still not a
I
fan.
don't know. I actually think that's worse.
I really think it should have been something like Blitzcore or Charizard, but
It 100% had it has to be one of your really like strong carry Pokemon that has a 4 times weakness.
hey,
Garganackle's fine sitting on Mono Rock.
hey man, maybe you'll see this 72 hours before and be like, man, maybe I should change that.
I mean, I hope he changes more than his Terra Captains.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's move on to Fortress with Firemana. You can take it away, buddy.
Yeah, this is another draft that I'm looking at this and I'm not seeing anything that's really going to like carry your games here. You have some really strong support Pokemon. I think Moltres and Wartortle are great. But I think this team has some really glaring weaknesses. To begin with, your type chart is not great. You're getting hit either neutral or super effective by a lot of really strong types. I think your speed tiers are like they could be worse, but your fastest Pokemon's Kadabra, who isn't really going to be doing much, and then you don't have anything slow enough to really take use of Trick Room either. Um, so it just feels kind of awkward to have everything be middling speed. Um, I don't know. I just don't know what this team wants to do. You can rotate Intimidate, and you have like a couple decent Pokemon, but I don't know. I really don't know what this team is trying to do in games.
I think also looking at, I know we've said a lot. Look at the type chart. You don't have a single poison resist, and poison is, I think, is pretty nice in this format to have. Um,
I think ground is pretty bad too. You have 2
yeah,
immunities, everything else is neutral.
flying you have one resistance. Psychic you have a resistance and an immunity, but again everything gets hit for neutral.
No dragon resist or immunity.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Um, Fairies, whatever. There's only a couple good fairy type attackers, except for your Terra Captains. I think the ghost weakness is pretty bad as well. Um,
Yeah, you usually like to see at least one resist in every category if you can. It's a little hard this format, but yeah, like I do like the intimidate cycle, but definitely in terms of just win con could be a little tough in the sense that Moltres is your first overall pick. It's the only Tailwind setter on your team, so you want to set Tailwind with a lot of times. It's like, okay, is that really wasting my Moltres pick? Um, Kadabra is your only trick imprison one in terms of trick room denial. There are other options with like fake out and taunt, but uh, it's made of paper, so it can't really eat many hits after, if not one, after setting up the imprison. Um,
I'm just trying to think of what this team like wants to do in a game, and I can't find anything. you're playing kind of balance with your speed tiers and your like relative bulk, and you have double intimidate, or you can do like I don't know, maybe you intimidate physical attackers down, and then you have stake out Mabostiff like on the field waiting for them to switch out. I really don't know.
Yeah.
The pressure that this team exudes is
Very
not
low.
much.
Especially into teams that rely on special attackers. It's
Has
almost nothing.
has he posted? Oh, he did. Terra captains are Stoutland and Walrein, which doesn't change much.
I think that's fine Terra captains, but it really doesn't fix any problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the special attacking teams into this team are gonna have a field day. Maybe I'm heavy underrating like War Turtle redirect with like Machamp or Moltres, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I really don't know about this one.
All right, moving on.
I, yeah.
If you don't, you have anything else?
No, I just saw like Machamp Kadabra Walrein. I think Kadabra gets skill swap, but that's so cheesy.
It's super cheesy.
Oh,
Fucking
you're talking like
no
one hit
guard,
KO
no
with
guard.
no guard. Yeah,
Tier
Yeah.
cold.
But that's
that
three of
might
your
be the
team slots,
idea.
and then what else do you take? Probably an
Yeah.
Intimidate user or War Turtle and try to like get it set up.
Yeah.
No,
A lot of
no.
moving parts.
It's not that doesn't
It's
work.
not worth
I'd
it.
love to see it happen though.
Oh yeah, it'd be hilarious.
All right, moving on. First pick Obstagoon.
I think first pick Obstagoon is the biggest problem on this team.
I think it's very, very funny, but not practical at all. Obviously.
I really like the first six other than Obstagoon. I think Scizor Magmar is really strong. I think Druddigon with two decent Trick Room setters in Drifblim and Mr. Mime is really good. I think Mr. Mime Drifblim is great support for your offensive Pokemon on this team. I just don't really know what the second half of this draft is. I guess you're running low on points, but what does any of it do?
Like you would rather see you pick up something like an 8-pointer, or I don't know how much Drizzile actually is, but
It's
you'd
Drizzle's
rather
2 points.
okay, so like a
Okay,
7-pointer.
the last five Pokemon in this draft are 18, 23, 25 total points for
You
those
could,
last five Pokemon.
I mean,
I'd like to see them all cut and then like two good Pokemon picked up, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
the draft is
exactly.
gas.
I think
Yeah.
okay. Realistically, I think Zangoose is fine. I think it's kind of an underrated sleeper value pick.
The
Yeah.
only problem with Zangoose on this team is you have Obstagoon already doing the exact same thing,
That
but
is
better.
true. I mean, that is true. But that also adds another.
I don't even know if I'd say better.
I did no Obstagoon with. I think Obstagoon with Flame Orb is just nasty. But
I mean, Zangoose has more attack.
Obstagoon
even with
is
more attack, Obstagoon has like it has more utility. Like it has Obstruct, its signature
yeah.
protectability, which I
Zangoose
think
can
is really really good.
Zangoose can literally only do facade spam. Obstagoon has other things. It's faster. It has some better supporting moves. It's bulkier. I think it just does the same thing better.
Has he posted his Terra
I don't know. I don't
Captains?
know if it's for me. I agree it does some things better. I don't know if it's 9 points better.
His Terra Captains
Oh,
are
I
are
don't think
literally
Obstagoon's
both Obstagoon and Zangoose.
There's no way. Obstagoon I get. Zangoose I don't.
We're gonna
Yeah.
watch. We're not on this day. We could talk as much smack as we want. I was gonna say we're gonna talk smack, and then we're gonna get facade killed into the
I
next
would
week, and we're gonna
Playoffs.
cry. But
I would love to see this team do good because like I said, I think the first half of this draft is great.
I love the Scizor Magmar, Mr.
Scizor
Mime,
Magmar is so good.
and the Druddigon too. Very value.
Druddigon Driftblim is also incredible, or Druddigon Mr. Mime, yeah. I hate the second half.
Does not tickle my brain. Let's move on. Water swoopers. So got anything to say? Got anything to say, Billy?
This is just my draft, but better. Water came into the call like 2 days before draft day and said, like, what are you drafting? And I was like, Zoroark is getting picked by Chris now, so I'm pivoting to Iron Thorns. And he hit me with the classic Water. Well, what does that thing even do? That thing's ass. Why would you pick it? isn't it a fraud? And then I had to defend Iron Thorns for the next 20 minutes because of my ego. And Water went, oh, wow, you're right. That's actually pretty good. Maybe you're right. And just basically took me and McFeed's draft plans. McFeed was planning on taking this thing second, so he wanted to kill me after this. I do think if McFeed's got this, as we already saw his draft, I think he would just win the league. I think Gudra and Iron Thorns, if it made it back to him, would have been absolutely disgusting. But he just got all the picks that I wanted that got sniped away from me on day 2. The Tatsugiri, the Houndoom, the Reveroom, the Draft Rig, even, for Christ's
Yeah, the
sakes.
Rever Room got sniped. They got sniped in free agency, buddy. Come on.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. That's. I ended up not going Reveroom because I had to pick up something else because my earlier picks got sniped. But yeah, true.
I think the main thing I'm looking at on this team is just, again, type chart gap. Like, I don't know.
I mean, you could say that, but
it's actually, now that I'm
it's
thinking
weak to
about it,
Crown.
and now that I'm thinking about it, you have Grassy Surge Thwacky, which kind of nullifies your.
I mean, this has to be Iron Thorn's draft rig Terra Captains, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
and I
for
think
sure.
once you do that, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the fairy weakness maybe could be a little real, but you have the Terras to maybe mitigate that too a little bit. You could Terra into a resist, and then you also
Dude,
have
like,
the quad resist in
I think
Reveroom.
Terra Fairy Iron Thorns is disgusting.
Yeah.
I think this draft is very balanced. I think the weaknesses that it does have is kind of nullified, right?
The Ditto's a little weird to me.
The Ditto is, yeah,
It's decent value for 4 points.
you could have done
Yeah.
something else, but like, it is what it is. Like, it's fine.
Like, I guess maybe if you're set on getting Ice Cube for 5 as your last pick, and you're like, I need to find a 4-point mon, Ditto's not bad if you don't know what else to take.
Yeah.
The only thing weird I see here is your like support moves are kind of all only on one Pokemon each. If you ever want to use them.
Very true.
You only have Tailwind on one Pokemon. You only have Trick Room on one Pokemon. And then that makes a couple of the modes a little hard to run. You have a lot of strong, slower Pokemon that might want Trick Room, but you kind of have to bring Draft Rig when you do that. So I think there's easy ways to stop it from happening. So that kind of makes Cursula fake. It kind of makes like Ice-Q a little fake. But I don't think any of that matters that much because the first half of the draft is so crazy.
Yeah, and Draft Rig also wanting to hold the Eviolite. Thwacky and Draft Rig can't hold the both, so in weeks where you want to set up Trick Room, that's a decision you have to make.
Yeah.
I'm realizing I said that fucking Earthquake nullifies, or not Earthquake, that Grassy terrain nullifies ground, but
it's just Earthquake.
It's just Earthquake, now that I'm thinking about it.
Which, I mean, is good.
It's good, but it's not that. I mean, it's good.
I mean,
it's
once
solid.
again, Iron Thorns is one of your Terras, so that 4 times, at least for me, every
Iron
week
Thorns
I'm tearing it immediately. Like,
it's Terra Flying or it's Terra Fairy every week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the team's a little predictable, but I think it's a good draft. Anything else?
One thing to note, the whole idea, right, is with the symbiosis on Florges, you get booster energy on Iron Thorns, you immediately pass it another item. It could be anything: Assault Vest, Life Orb, Choice Band, Choice Scarf. A lot of good options. And then the whole idea with Ice Q is you get the Belly Drum with also the symbiosis. I personally would have picked a faster Belly Drum Pokemon just so you could pass it a Choice Scarf after it gets a Belly Drum up or something. But the Ice Face is kind of cool tech.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think if this draft just brings those first 4 Pokemon every week, it's even just that's really hard to beat.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Chamblade des Chandelures.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, we know what
like,
this team's doing, right?
yeah. Clicking Slip Wave. Yeah, you click Sludge Wave next to Oranguru. Telepathy means it doesn't get hit. You do it again. It's like
What outside of that are you doing though? Like,
You're
probably
clicking
not
all
much.
of the shred moves on Toxtricity, Boom Burst, Overcharge.
Yeah. I mean, okay, this draft is literally Toxtricity plus a bunch of support mons, pretty much. Tauros can maybe do something. Zygarde can maybe do something. Um, but like, if the opponent's team is running anything that like, if the opponent has ground types, what do you do? If the opponent has steel types, what do you do?
Yeah,
dude, dude, Tauros Paldea is gonna fucking run through all those steel types, baby. What do you know
I mean
about that?
that's actually true, but
I as I say, I do like the choices of Tauros in the sense that deals with the steel types and Zygarde deals with the steel types. My only problem with Zygarde is that you're choosing a Pokemon that also wants to click a spread ground move, and now Wide Guard is like, which was already really insane against you, is even better.
yep.
Wide Guard teams are gonna have a field day playing into this. Another cool tech is the Toxtricity Boom Burst with like a what do you call it, throat spray for the another boost on top of
Yeah,
your already ability
symbiosis.
boost. Plus you symbiosis it something, but
I think there's a few things this team can do. I just think this team is you're going to be able to like predict with almost 100% certainty which weeks this team's going to win and which weeks this team's going to lose.
yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit coin flippy, isn't it?
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
even on the weeks that
entirely
it can
it's
win,
entirely
it's like
dependent on the opponent's team.
again on the weeks that it can win, it's like you're so predictable that it's like I don't know. You're even just beatable on the weeks that you think you can win so easily, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's going to take a lot of creative thinking from Jacob to figure out how to problem solve his way through a lot of these fights.
all right, moving on. Majors Mudkips. This is personally one of the drafts I was very high on. Um, I'm a fan of Follow Me Tech with Swampert Delphox Sceptile. Um,
Yep.
do you have a Snow Setter in this?
Frostlass and Arctozolt both can set it.
Well, you obviously would rather Frostlass do it, but
Yep.
Yeah.
um, Weezing is fine. I'm not sure what it's really doing besides sitting there and just turning off abilities you don't want to play against, which is its entire purpose anyway. I don't know why I said that.
I think it's got some good tech. Um, I think it's actually got three really good abilities. Even looking at it now for his team, right? He's got some ground weakness, so you can run Levitate on those weeks. Neutralizing gas. His team doesn't really care much about the abilities besides like Unburden, really.
Unburden, Slush Rush. I
Slush
don't,
Rush if you're running snow.
I don't remember what fucking Magician does. I'm gonna be keep it 100
It
with you.
steals items like Thief when you hit someone.
Yeah, it's when you hit an
That's pretty
opponent.
bad. I think
It's
turning off Serene
situational.
Grace is kind of annoying on Touch Tick, but that's all right.
I was gonna say I wish Togetic was faster with the Serene Grace because this team does have Rainbow. It has all the field conditions. It has Rainbow Swamp and what is the other one? The damage one. I don't even know.
Are you talking
But
about
it
Fire
has
Water
all
Pledge
three.
or like what are we talking about here?
Yeah, like the
No,
pledges.
it's the Firegrass one is the one he's thinking of. I don't remember what it's called either.
Yeah. Um, which is pretty sick tech. I wish Togetic was faster because if you had
Oops,
the
hold on. Oopsies. Bang. Uh, if you there.
W production.
Pretty
Dude,
professional.
I need to make sure. I want to see what this is. It's Fire and Grass, right?
Yeah, it does damage over time at the end of each turn. Um, if he had Rainbow up with Serene Grace and Togetic was like
Oh,
Toga
yeah.
Kiss speed, it could have like almost guaranteed flinch chance, which would be so annoying if it was a little faster. But my other point about the Weezing Galar is Misty Surge too, right? It could run Misty Seed on the Sceptile with Unburden.
Yep.
some weeks for just the speed, which I think Weezing are even also just typings, having a fairy and poison type in this format is just such a nice addition to the team.
Yeah. You also have Super Luck Absol you can run Rainbow with. Could be funny.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what Bastiodon's really doing here other than what it always does. Trying to think, does Bastiodon like help you with matchups that much? Were you weak to anything? No, you're still weak to rock. You're still weak to ground. You're still weak to fighting. Kind of.
Well, his Terra Captains are Togetic and Bastiodon. So
So support Pokemon basically with Terra Captains. I think Bastiodon needs Terra Captain because its 4-time
Yeah.
weaknesses are really bad. But I mean, Terra Bastiodon, it won me some games last season. So
it is also very annoying to get rid of.
yep.
I mean, honestly, in retrospect to this team, I think I ranked it a little too low. Um, I think, especially with Terra, like the type chart, you still have like unlike some of the other teams where you said the type chart doesn't look good. Even on the like the types where this team is weak to something, there is a resist available everywhere, which is really good to see, and it just has good field conditions that all work together. There's just the modes that this team has work together, whereas I think where we see other teams try to go like different mini modes, they don't necessarily connect very well.
Mm-hmm. Moving on. Got Chong's little funny draft. Um, there's some picks I was personally high on, like Araquanid, Type Null, and Guzzlord, but um, the rest of the draft is a little like a big question mark above my head.
Yeah, this was the Chiang Rage Bait draft. He told me he was picking things that in the podcast we said were overrated, and also things that we said were underrated or good value. So we see the type null as well. Um, I think my main problem with this team is the fast mode is a little fake. I think. I like its options in terms of Trick Room. I didn't realize until I looked at this team that Duocean had 125 special attack still. Um, so even when it gets the Trick Room set up, it's a threat itself. In terms of getting that Trick Room set up, because the fast mode's a little fake, people are going to be prepared for that Duosion with Taunt. It can't be faked out if Serena's next to it, but then you're leading Serena Duosion, which, okay. Um,
Yeah.
I wish there was just a couple more fast threats on this team. I think the benefit he has is that because he seems so indexed into Trick Room, if teams aren't prepared for a fast mode where it's like he sets like they min speed all their Pokemon to try to compete with him in Trick Room, and he sets up the Tailwind. Like he could get a couple wins that way.
Yeah, there's a few things on this team that if you're trying to underspeed uh, in Tailwind, they will absolutely mess you up. Um, Huge Power Diggersby, Araquanid, um, even just like full attack Torracat could probably take some KOs in Tailwind, right? Um, I do think uh, most of the time Tailwind on this team is pretty fake, and Dodrio's probably not coming to most games, but it is an option.
It
Yeah,
could it could be worse. Like a couple of the drafts we're probably about to go over that I forgot about. But
I think I may have underrated this team a little bit. I do think it's still in the middle, lower end to me, but I think I might have underrated it a little bit. I think the main thing I would have liked to see is a couple more fast threats, and something that could really stand next to Diggersby reliably. It's like just Dodrio right now, and then no telepathy Pokemon that really want to sit next to that Earthquake. Even like a 4 times weakness to ground with Magnezone next to it, so can't do
Yep.
that.
definitely needs some changes here and there. Anyways, yeah, there's this. This is one of them I was talking about. Um, what were you trying to accomplish with this draft?
The literal only thing I can see here is you have Electabuzz Slowbro to reliably get up Trick Room, and then you have Flareon Crabominable in the back, and that's about it, man.
I feel like this draft is like all Pokemon are like, damn, their value at their price points, but somehow they just did not work together. like like if I look at them individually, I'm like, damn, Electabuzz, 15 points, good Pokemon. I would love to have it on my team. Slowbro, Mandibuzz, Tauros, even Flareon, Appleton. I'm like, damn, those Pokemon could really fit on the right team, and then they're all on one team and they just don't work together.
No way we jumped over Manchow, by the way. This is my boy like that.
I think me
I
and
mean,
Jazz a little date at 19,
it's
but
not underpointed.
yeah,
No,
I think it's like
It's good.
probably like accurately related. Yeah.
But I mean, I think the only really good Pokemon on this team is Mienshao, and that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, Manchow, sure. Fake out, close combat, taunt bot, most weeks.
Yeah, Electabuzz and Slowbro are good supportmon, uh, but I just think all of your offensive Pokemon are so much worse than other offensive Pokemon in the format.
We're gonna
This
say
team's also
this, and then
super physical.
we're
Like
gonna watch fucking Appleton go off in Trick Room, and we're gonna be like,
yeah,
whoa.
Oh, I love that Pokemon. Don't get me wrong.
I do think Appleton's a little underrated. It's got very balanced, solid stats in Trick Room. So
Alright, I don't look at this
What
thing.
what are the tier captains here? Did they say?
Did they?
I'd guess it's like
Is it Snack Talk,
Not
right?
yet.
They
Yeah,
haven't said anything? Okay. Moving on
I think
then.
Appleton should be one, but yeah,
I think like Appleton and something else.
Sage's draft is there's a bunch of modes. A bunch of modes that I personally like. There is Fast Trick Room Mimikyu. You also have Trick Room on the Outer Galar that can set up Tailwind. Set up Rain on Kingdra, which or not on Kingdra, but on Riolu for Kingdra. Um,
Bisharp Kingdra do love having rain up for sure. Yeah.
Bisharp I think is a very nice addition. You don't have to run Eviolite on it, whereas you'd want it on the Riolu. Vikavolt in Trick Room, really disgusting. I think probably one of the more underrated Trick Room attackers in the format.
I think getting Persian as late in the draft as Sage did is really good.
I think yeah, that's very good for him. I also think Mawile is fake out intimidate user. Yeah, I'm not crazy. I remember incorrectly.
I believe Mawile gets fake out.
uh,
Maybe not
I
though.
I do not think it does. I don't think it'd be 5 points
Oh
for
wait,
fake
no,
out.
wait.
No,
Yeah,
There's
actually, there's
literally a
no
type
way.
chart right here,
There's no
or
way
not a
he's
type
at.
chart. Yeah, it's only Persian
oh,
with
this was
fake
a
out.
Cocopuffs are not screenshot. I see.
It was, it was. I kind of wasn't looking at that.
I mean, Persian's one of the better fake out users. So
Yeah, it's not bad for sure.
stab
Yeah,
technician fake out actually almost does damage.
I
I
mean,
think
go ahead.
It's
I
also
think another team
outspeeding
I
most of the fake
underrated.
out users.
Another team I underrated on retrospect. I think there are still flaws with this team that I was probably a little hyper fixated on. But
I do
honestly,
think,
looking at the first seven, like really good. No,
yeah, the
like
first seven I really like. I think you can drop one of Mawile or Crocroc. You definitely don't need both of them.
yeah,
And Croc and I really don't know what you're doing with.
I think you can drop all three of those for like a decent Pokemon, and you're chilling.
What does that get you? 10 points? Get another 10 pointer, or just drop Croconaw and find a better 5 point mon.
Yeah,
yeah. I completely agree there. It's this holy moly Eviolite, right? Like Bisharp, Riolu, Croconaw, Crocorock. Obviously not bringing all of them necessarily in the same week. I think honestly, the way I would play this team most weeks is just Eviolite Bisharp because it's so OP for having Eviolite, Riolu coaching with Focus Sash, and then like you could just pick and choose from the rest of them.
Yep.
alrighty.
Yeah, I would say drop the last three, pick up a 10 pointer,
Did
and just be like,
he post his Terra Captains?
Is there like a better 10 point intimidate mon you can
it,
get?
it
'Cause
has to be Bisharp. No,
that would do it.
I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling.
It better be Bisharp.
I'm just wondering who did his. It is Mimikyu. Oh no, he dropped. No, he dropped Mimikyu for Salazzle.
What?
So
Salazzle on this team is interesting. You have Dragon Shear, Sniper, Kingdra. I guess.
I hate that personally. I
I
don't know.
don't
I feel like
think it's better.
I
It's a
feel like the
side
Trick
grade
Room
at
mode on this team
best.
was so sick with like Mimikyu setup, Trick Room, and Vikavolt, Isharp.
Yeah, that I don't know about that. I honestly think it's like drop the last three and pick up like I don't know
Yeah, I
if you
was
really
just
want to
searching in 10 points.
Dragon Cheer Pokemon. I think you get like a Alolan Executor. Uh, I don't know, man. I don't know about Salazzle here.
Yeah, I think just a little too haste on the draft picks up necessary here. I feel
I
like this
think
team has such a good mode.
if you kept Mimikyu and dropped the last three and get a Alolan Executor, you have another really strong Trick Room Sweeper, and you have your Dragon Cheer Pokemon there as well.
he does have a
Yeah.
couple of hours to change it. So if he watches this and it does get uploaded, hey man, you do you.
Yeah.
Moving on. Show it, boys. Um,
Here's a draft that really wanted Salazzle.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
I think Alcremie and Liepard are like a decent pivot once Salazzle gets taken from you. Like it could be worse. Decorate on Haxorus and Teleon's crazy. And you have Liepard for like Rain Dance and Teleon.
My part gets
I
Sunny
think
Day, yeah.
yeah,
Glowing
it gets both.
Chlorophyll.
It gets both.
Yep.
Does anything on this team get like Aquajet that isn't Inteleon?
I doubt it.
I don't think so. Unless like Rampardos randomly, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
You
hit your Colossal with a 165
Yeah.
basic Aqua Jet.
yeah.
Speaking of Rampardos, I don't know why it's here.
I also
The
don't
Trick
Yeah.
Room
understand the
mode,
Fortress either, to be fair.
I think the Trick Room mode here is incredibly fake. I think you have Sigilif for Imprison Trick Room because you want to be playing fast with this team. You want it to be setting Tailwind instead. Um, and even in Tailwind, Rampardos is just not fast enough to reliably outspeed things and get its one shots that it wants to get. I guess you could do like Liepard Sunny Day with Chlorophyll Lilligant and use After You on Rampardos.
That's a pretty cool tech I didn't even think about.
That would be about it though.
I'm,
Of
I'm,
ways to use Rampardos on this team.
I do think out of like most of the drafts we've seen, I think the more I look at this, the more I dislike it. I think I gave it a pretty like high ranking.
I think this is just another one of those drafts where the start of it looks really good, and then they just didn't close it out well, and they could fix it with a few free agency pickups, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one or two moves away from being a top tier team. And I was talking to him right before this video actually about even maybe like a Rampardos Fortress Colossal, some sort of drop and pick up Salazzle to really lean into that fast mode, give yourself an even faster drag into your Pokemon for both your Inteleon and Haxorus. Now it's being contested, so I don't know if he's still going to plan on that. I think the Fortress is one of the problems because it's a Steel type, but the Bug type kind of neutralizes out a lot of the Steel type resistances you really want. And yeah, like you said, the Rampardos isn't really doing much here. So I'd like to see those two drop at least, maybe the Colossal, and look for like one or two solid Pokemon to fill in the holes.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
we will see if he contests the Salazzle that is currently being contested by Sage.
Be one of the first times.
Yeah. So we'll see. Last but certainly least, um, whatever this shit is.
That's crazy work.
Not to be too harsh on this, but oh my god.
Did you think that Pelipper and Politoed got Drizzle? Maybe.
even if you did, why are you taking both of them?
Who is setting up Rain?
Look, everyone on the team could.
Oh
pretty
yeah. Oh yeah.
much.
Literally everybody.
I think the best thing on this team is like Quiver Dance for Bombi with Oricorio.
I think
I
you.
think I think the rain is incredibly fake here. You have like 4 things that want to be setting rain for you. Um, and even if you get rain up, your 2 Pokemon that are really making use of it are Barraskewda, Ludicolo, who are like Barraskewda's not bad. Ludicolo's a little worse, but it's still not bad. But the problem with this is like what do you do if they're not killing things?
Yeah.
Did he post
How
his
do you do how do you win against like steel types? How do you win against other water types? How do you win against anything that Barraskewda is not able to kill, basically?
You don't.
This
I
one.
think Barraskewda
mm,
can definitely kill steel types, but
Yeah.
dependent on if they're terror or not and what their secondary type is. If they don't have a secondary type, well, yippee, terror fighting close combat, thumbs up. He also hasn't posted his terror captains yet, so we don't know that, so we can just comment on that. Barraskewda, if you're not terror captaining Barraskewda, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only other Pokemon you can Terra is Elekid. So you don't have a 4-pointer.
I mean, it's a fine second Terra Captain, I guess. It's a follow me. No, Ellicott doesn't get follow me, does it?
It does. I
It
think.
does. It does.
Oh,
No, it
yeah. I
does.
think
Does
I
it?
think the sheet's bug.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it does because
This is
Thunder
in that
Mythbusters
dex.
ran it with in
It
Little
does.
Cup.
It does. On that
Yeah.
dex, it does get it. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, Terra Captaining your follow me Pokemon with Barraskewda is not bad, but I just think as soon as you drafted Oricorio second, you trolled your whole draft. Instead of picking up something better, like a priority rain setter, um,
Liepard would have been good here.
Lipard or Grafaiai would have been so good here.
That was
I think
one
this
of the
draft is last
drafts.
for me because it's so hard to fix. Like,
Yeah.
It's so hard to fix. There's
like
too many things you need to fix.
I legitimately think if he had Barraskewda Grafaiai, that's one of the main drafts that I wanted before I traded up to 4th pick in Sunday's draft. I think Barraskewda is underpointed for I get it's a one trick, but the amount of damage it puts out is so disgusting for a low tier format.
yeah, definitely one I was looking at too.
Um, I think if you had a proper rain setter, like a Riolu, like a Grafaiai, like a Lipard, then I think you'd be fine. But you'd only have one mode, right? And that would be rain.
Or even
And
like a fast one.
yeah, you don't really. You have 2 extremely fast Pokemon, with Barraskewda being the fastest thing in the format. Um,
And Rabombi
besides,
is like 4th or 5th.
yeah, Barraskewda is not the fastest. It's like Electro, but who cares, right? Um, I'm just failing to
Yeah,
see
like
what.
Rabombi outspeeds Noivern, and we went with Oricorio second pick. I don't know.
I'm just failing to see like how you win a game.
I I think
There's
maybe
a
it could
couple
squeak out some
actually
wins,
there's a
but
couple drafts that are really weak to water. You could probably win those games.
Oh, that is true.
he's not in the 4 time storm drain uh
True.
That would be
division, right?
that would be hell. That would be really
Yeah.
hell. Moving on. Do we want to? I think it's rankings next, yeah. Or what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the groups. Yeah. Speaking of what groups they're in, um, yeah.
I mean, I think this was more to look at like matchups between the teams, but honestly, it's just too much to look at. I think we just go with the rankings here.
Bang. I think the I think the top 8 are pretty self-explanatory. Um,
It really is like the top 8 are the good drafts, and the bottom 8 are the ones that are going to be struggling.
I think
lot.
there's a couple good like stuff in or drafts in the bottom 8 that
The, like
if
9 through 9, 10, maybe 11 are like
Yeah,
workable.
you can't save the bottom 5, I think, like, right? Um Obviously, I
I
think
think
Water and McFeeds, you can't contest the first 2 slots here, really. Um I think McFeeds overall just had a crazy draft, but Water also got one of the best synchronized drafts in the entire format.
yeah, I think one thing to talk about here is some of the teams we were like maybe we ranked them a little too high, maybe a little too low. I think we were talking about Major still in the upper half here, but looking at his team in retrospect, I think it's a little better. And once again, maybe like a couple changes away from being like really up there.
Yep.
Um,
I think Dory's is the same. I think if Dory is able to fix the couple problems that are on that draft, it could be top 4, top 3 even.
Yeah.
which it already kind of is that honestly. Maybe we did have him accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, if Dory gets Salazzle, it's like actually insane. Um,
he really has to contest that pick. And
yeah,
it's a 50-50 draw and who gets it. So you win the coin flip, you have an extremely good draft. You lose a coin flip, well, you could probably go out and find a good Pokemon, I think.
yep.
Um Even though there's not much anymore, draft's over, you could probably find a niche. Um I think I had Yub ranked pretty low. I've been convinced that he should be a little higher. I don't think he's 5th overall good, but um
I'm really high on the first like 4 Pokemon on that draft. I think are crazy.
I I don't think he has a higher like draft standing than Major. I think Dory again with a couple changes. X looks really good. Sage looks really good.
They're
Yeah,
all in the same area for
I
sure.
could totally move Yub down like in retrospect. I just think Tinkaton, Noivern, Magmortar is such a crazy first 3,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah,
with him
but
on top
if
support.
any one of those Pokemon gets shut down, it feels like not the draft crumbles, but like the game becomes so much harder depending on what your fourth Pokemon can be.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think they're all one or two changes away from like passing each other in any sort of order here. They're all,
yeah,
I think, good teams.
This
Just
entire power ranking would change after free agency for sure.
yeah,
all right, yeah. 9 through 16. Uh, Again, self-explanatory. We kind of explained ourselves, right?
Yep.
Um,
I think
The
it's
top
easier
half
to
of
start from
these,
the bottom here, probably.
yeah, the bottom 4 or 5 teams here are almost unsalvageable.
like Thunder's draft was kind of like it looked fine in the beginning, and then you're like, man,
Yeah,
he
like
could do a lot more with it.
I
I mean,
just
for
think
me, Burger Kingler was a little worse, but like Thunder, like maybe drafts a few less Pokemon and get some more quality. Like overall, just not happy with his draft compared to past seasons.
I
Yeah,
think Thunder's draft, especially the first half of it, is pretty good. I think losing Gardevoir hurts a lot. I think there were definitely worse drafts, but yeah, it's not ideal.
I maybe in retrospect I should have ranked Thunder higher, especially above BK and Snack Talk. But I think other than that, I think the rest of our rankings are fine. There's nothing really that you can look at and be like, yeah, they don't
Yeah,
deserve to be there.
especially these like top teams on the bottom half are like there's almost not very much to talk about them. Um, they're better than the worst teams, and they're not as good as the best teams, and they could probably move up a little higher with some fixes, but I don't think any of them have the ability to break into like the top 5, even with free agency.
All right.
And I mean, not to like go back to the Thunder draft or either. It's like I know you said like most weeks he's running Fairy, uh, Savali to like
Yeah,
supplement his issues, but like that's also to its detriment, right? Like you're kind of forced to bring Fairy Savali most weeks.
yeah, it's either
But
fairy or steel.
every
Just
season we see the drafts get closer and closer. I think at least from what I've seen, like when I first started, even though I didn't know what I was doing very much, like I feel like there was a big discrepancy in the quality of the teams over the past few seasons. Like the worst teams, even like played optimally, like they can beat the top teams. Like there's win cons for most teams. Like you have play.
yeah, I mean even Burger King lures Barraskewda's scary.
Yeah.
if it is able to get running, right?
If you're able to make a couple moves, make sure that Barraskewda is like protected and can move around. Like I'm the fucking U-turn volt switch guy, but flip turn is extremely standard on Barraskewda, and I think if you're able to pivot around and put Barraskewda in an endgame that favors it will knock out the last two Pokemon no problem. Especially if you're running Choice Band. You don't need Choice Scarf on that Pokemon just because of its high speed. And when you get right up, Swift Swim is kind of nasty. You also have another useful ability in Propeller Tail, which
Very good ability.
doesn't get redirected. So even if you wanted to run Choice Scarf, you could. Um, again, rain boosted liquidations, rain boosted Aqua Jets. It has fine coverage. It gets close combat. It gets crunch. It's just a very good Pokemon, and I think if you can maybe patch up a little bit, maybe you'd be a bit higher. But for now, I think you just stay in the bottom.
Yeah.
Next slide. Yeah.
Got his ass. Got him.
Your draft wasn't as bad as we were saying. We were just kind of bullshitting. A little bit.
No, I feel bad. Show him the real rankings.
I could hear Thunder right now at like live watching the video, just like actually seething. Like, what the hell are these guys talking about? He's like, preparing like a typed out message to all of us personally
No,
about
that
how
draft is
we
so
suck.
fucking goated. It's like the first three are almost
He's
identical
not
to
even gonna
mine.
curse out
It
me.
wouldn't been.
He's just gonna curse out Syndicate. Like it's so
Yeah.
over.
I mean, the first three of his draft would have been identical to mine if he got the Gardevoir. I love that core. It's so good.
Yeah.
But
Everyone else very accurately rated. We just moved him up or down one depending on
where
where
we wanted to
Thunder
rage
was.
bait Thunder.
Yeah, but if we go back to his draft real quick, if we could just cycle back to it.
There it is.
How could this be bad? How could this be bad?
It can't be that bad. No,
It's
it's got great modes.
It's not as bad as like we were trying. Just rage bait, man. Just rage bait. Like we said, like we said, you have many modes. You have your trick room. You have Steely Spirit with Lucario, which could be really funny. Also with Safali, really funny. Uh, Compound Eyes, Rage Powder, Trick Room with Trevenant, Gigalith. There's a lot. Gonna be
There's
extremely hard.
like a
to put
semi
forward.
sun mode with.
I think this is the most flexible draft.
Yeah.
It's just really good.
Yeah, nothing changed. We all.
With the bottom half is
Yeah, I would put Chung a bit lower now looking at his draft. Probably in the same slot you guys have it, but we kind of agree for the most part on the bottom 3, 4.
yeah.
Except for Thunder, or not Thunder, Coco, you want to be different. So.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, if we go back to the standings tab for the Hoenn groups, I'm not sure who you guys have coming out of each side. I know personally I had one in the pre-draft spiel, just in terms of player quality of who I knew and everything. I don't know how much that changes with the drafts, but what do you guys think? Who's making out of each side here?
I think red is a lot. Ruby's a lot easier to predict. I think. Because
You have two.
You have a lot of the bottom teams in Ruby group. I think it's obviously McFeeds should be going first in this group. If he doesn't, like what the hell? I think second is probably Major based purely on draft.
Yeah.
And then 3, 4 is more contestable. I think you have a lot of the middle of the pack teams remaining. You have Sage, Fortress, and Chong and Night Selly, who could all go 3, 4 in this group. I think. I wouldn't be surprised to see like 3, 4, 5 in this group be very competitive. I'm fully expecting Burger Kinglers and Snack Talk to be bottom 2 in this group. I will be pleasantly surprised if they manage to eke any higher than that. And if one of them makes it playoffs, I will be fully rooting for them because how the hell did they do that?
I think, like you said, McFeed's major. I think they should make it out. I really think you're a little low on Sage's draft. I think Sage should be able to make it out of the red group pretty handedly.
I agree. I mean, I think he
I
should
don't
be
like.
able
I
to.
don't
I
know.
just
It
think
depends if
there's
that
some. I
change
think
goes
there's some
through.
competition
Oh
there.
yeah, the change. That is true. I do now that I'm looking at it, I think it's probably a toss up between Knight Sele and Fortress's Fortress, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm a little bit lower on Chong's draft now that I looked at it. Right? So not my cup of tea. With maybe if you made some changes, maybe I'd change my rankings, but that's kind of what I got.
Yeah,
And
blue
then
side's a little harder. Sapphire side. What are you guys thinking here?
Sapphire's definitely more balanced overall.
I think
I
top
think
two for sure should be Thunder and Water.
Thunder
Um,
and Water should be top two in this group 100%. Yeah.
if they're not, then they're both frauds and need to not play Pokemon anymore.
I think similarly to Ruby group here though is 3-4 is really competitive. I think there's a lot of the upper half teams in this group. Yub, Ek, Dory, all could be going for 3-4. Carito, obviously. Um,
I think the only two
Actually,
you have to
looking at it
rule
now, I
out
think
is
I really think
Jacob J Money.
J Money maybe could surprise me with something, but I agree. Looking at it now though, I do think it should be like Thunder, Water, Carito should be top three in this group, and the fourth slot's really competitive.
Now, and the pre-draft rankings, obviously the still a bet from last season that I have to fulfill my part on. I need to eat cooked fish. I'm just trying to find the right way to do it.
Fish is good, man.
I'm just not a big seafood guy, so that's my punishment. This season, McFeeds and I have a bet. Um, Obviously, I predicted Water would make it out, unfortunately, or wouldn't make it out. Now he has basically my draft, so I fear he might make it out. So I might have to lose this season with the bet too, in terms of having McFeeds choose my name for next season. Do you guys want to wager a similar bet here between yourselves?
A bet?
I don't even know what we would bet on here.
Yeah, what are we betting on? There's
Hmm?
nothing really that
I
could
think
be.
we were pretty much in agreement here.
You don't want to you don't want to put a little $5 RP gift card on the guy on the line here?
We
What
could
the
do
hell does $5 RP get you?
we could do a little gifted skin, fucking 1350 skin. Why not?
mean,
You want to do Ruby Group instead because that's a little
Yeah, Ruby groups. I don't think betting on Sapphire groups very good.
You gotta do both. You gotta get your 4 for each, and then most out of 8.
okay.
Oh God, we have to like record this then.
I'm gonna do McFeed's Major, Sage, and I'm gonna say Fortress to make it out, and then Thunder, Water, Carito, and I'm gonna probably say Yub to make it out of Sapphire.
All right, so what do I do if I was gonna say the exact same thing?
Okay, well, let's go.
That's fair. You just call it we call it a draw, I guess.
Calling it a draw, handshake.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to bet on here. I think I would have said the exact same thing. Maybe Knight Sully over Fortress. Yeah,
All right.
pretty much the same thing. But I think I would have said exactly those 8.
That's fair. Yeah.
Would have been a one-team bet. I see. I see.
I think that's about it. Yeah. I mean, unless you guys have anything else to say, I think for the teams that are on the lower end, once again, always a positive on your team. Play to your team strengths. Maybe look for a few free agency pickups. Feel free to reach out to any of the admins. We love this. Other people too, like these two. These guys have extreme ball knowledge when it comes to Pokemon. You could be a few changes away from having a really great team. It's close.
Yeah, I don't think anything here is completely unsalvageable for sure.
I think there's one draft that is completely unsalvageable, and I'm gonna.
I think you could find a way to make it competitive.
You
I'm not
probably
saying you
could.
could. I'm not saying you could fix it and make it the best draft in the group, like some of the other ones maybe could. But I do think you could make it competitive.
You made my favorite Pokemon in the format look like ass on a team, and I'm angry.
Me?
No.
Oh, the Barraskewda?
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't draft it
Fair enough.
obviously, but I had a better first pick.
All right,
yeah.
I think we'll call it there, guys, before Chris starts spewing slurs.
All right.
We'll get in
Okay.
trouble.
All right.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you probably next time later this season with some match reviews. Hopefully, getting back on that soon, and some mid-season reviews, maybe even a few Jeopardy games. But thanks for joining us, guys.